Hi, community. How are you doing? It's Spirit Guide. Thank you so much for finding my channel again and returning subbies. Thank you so much for returning to the channel. So how's everybody doing today? This has been a gorgeous day and it is something that I have really enjoyed. So hopefully everyone else has a beautiful story like that where you had a great day. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing we're going to be talking about chakras. I just saged about chakras. I have the chakra cards here. And we're also going to be talking about light, right? Energy, and how it, travels back and forth. I was recently having a conversation with someone, and we were just talking about energy. And, she was just like, well, you know, um, if there's light energy, then there's dark energy, but how can we go back and forth? And that was a great question, right? Like, how do we go back and forth with energy? And it's just, energy is just, it goes back and forth, right? So you can produce energy and you can receive energy, okay? It can happen both ways. Just simply put, there really is no answer, but simply put, energy is just your intentions, right? It's how it's what your body puts forward when you set intentions, right? So think of it this way. When you wake up in the morning and you have a good morning or whatever, and you go to get ready for your day, if you are in a positive mindset, then when little things happen, it doesn't get you off target, right? It doesn't get you off balance because you're well adjusted and things happen and you move on. So your intentions are to have a good day. So your choices are going to mirror that. They're going to be things to help you have a good day, okay? Now it's not saying bad things won't happen, but when you have a positive mindset, what begins to happen is you start to filter and you use your intuition as well. So you start to listen to all your body. When you, in the same scenario, you get up, you have a positive mindset, and one negative thing happens, and what happens, you get upset behind it. Okay, so something negative happens, something small, you get upset. Then you're trying to get back into that positive mindset, then boom, something else happens and you get even more upset. So by the time you leave your home, you already have a negative mindset and you have negative thoughts. So all of your actions that you choose or interactions with people is coming from that frame of thought. It's coming from that negativity, that expectation of negativity. And negative attracts negative energy. And then the ball starts to roll, okay? It can make someone, if you have too much negative energy, it can make someone super or hypersensitive. Hypersensitive people create like drama and conflict, right? Because those are the people that I don't know if they choose it or not, it's just a hypersensitivity. So it's kind of like the example I gave you. You woke up in a good mood, one bad thing happened, and something else happened, and something else happened, and as you walked out the door, you're now ready for anything else negative. So your intentions are, you're ready to battle. That's your intention, okay? That is a hypersensitivity, okay? So hypersensitive people are looking for other hypersensitive people, or they're looking for anyone that's not hypersensitive, because again, it's going to trigger them to make them more hypersensitive, okay? That's where you start seeing arguments out of nowhere, fights out of nowhere, a miscommunication. One person said one thing, the other person took it the wrong way. That's a hypersensitive person, or a person who has at that moment chosen to be hypersensitive is meeting someone who is not hypersensitive, right? So I gave you that example to explain how that's how energy transfers back and forth. That's why I remember when you were in middle school or high school, your teachers would say someone can't argue by themselves or with themselves. That's basically what they're telling you. If you see someone that is hypersensitive, and if they're hypersensitive because anything you say to them, they may give you a look, or they're looking to engage in negativity. They may laugh it off, they may whatever, but they're looking to engage, okay? So that would be a hypersensitive individual. We all have moments of hypersensitivity. It's how other people react to it that makes it a light situation or a dark situation, okay? So if you can have two hypersensitive people meeting each other, but what will begin to happen is those two hypersensitive people will not engage each other, right? You rarely see two people ready to battle going at each other, right? It's usually one person ready to battle and the other person might be on the edge of battle and not battle, or the other person is peaceful and they get drawn into it by the negative, okay, or the hypersensitive person. So that's basically how I explain energy, right? You have hypersensitive people, and then you just have average positive people, right? So you've got the two sides, the yin and the yang, right? So in order to attract light, you have to remain in a positive mindset, right? And that includes, walking away from conflict or not engaging people who want to start arguing, and not saying I'm not going to engage you, because then saying that goes into the hypersensitive mindset, and therefore now you've got two people ready to battle, right? Sometimes your actions can show what you mean, and you don't have to say anything, okay? So in saying all of that, people who are of the light will go between the light and the dark a lot. They may have moments of darkness, but they won't be pitch black. I call those moments a gray, right? Where something you've done is not good, but it's not, detrimental to you. People of the dark, believe it or not, also have moments of gray. So the gray is the area where people are meeting in between, right? They're meeting. And that's what I call the neutral area, right? It's the area where people of the dark, or that have dark energy, or your hypersensitive people, they can choose, once they're in the gray area, the neutral area, they can choose to make the right decisions and go towards the light, or they can make decisions that will bring them further into the dark, or bring them into the dark. And they, if you sit and listen to people when they talk about situations or whatever, there's always that one defining moment where they're like, I should have made that choice that I did. I knew I shouldn't have made that choice, but I did. That's the gray area, right? And everyone has that one moment. So what begins to happen at this point is, I've had those moments, those gray area moments. And when I've had those moments, I'm the kind of person that I go silent. When I have to make a choice, or when I'm presented with something that can go really, really bad really quickly, I stay silent, right? So I'll give you an example of what I mean. So if I'm confronted with something, or if I'm at work and, a customer wants to argue, and, all these videos come out about, cashiers or other people, people in service industries getting into fights with the customers. If you look at the videos, the workers typically are the ones backing away, right? So that backing away action, believe it or not, that's them in their gray moment. That's them in their gray moment. The person that is advancing them, or jumping over tables, or whatever it is, and that's real, by the way. I mean, people, that's real, okay? People, jumping over tables, going to the back, and everything else. That the customer had no gray area, right? They didn't choose a gray area. They chose they were the hypersensitive, and they jumped forward. Okay. All right. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the chakra. I just wanted to explain light versus dark, right? We all have a choice. We're all born of the light. When every last one of us human beings are born, we are light. We are light and love. That's all babies are. They are light and love. They are coming from just extraordinary circumstances before they get here, right? You have to remember, their cells, they have to form and everything else. So when they come here, they're empty, they're light, they're love, and that's why we love them so much. Same thing with our dogs and cats. That's just pure love. They don't know anger until we teach it to them. Babies don't know confrontation until we teach it to them. Okay, they don't know about hitting other people until it's taught to them. Okay, so that's what happens. And there are people out there who are absolute, like, again, we're all of the light, we're all born that way. That's how divine has made us, that we all come here just empty vessels full of love, right? Well, not empty vessels, but just full of love. So when these situations come about, divine is hoping that we have enough guidance in the world that we are able to choose light only. Because remember, when there's good, there's also evil. And both forces are present in our daily life. Every single moment, you've got these choices to make, okay? So, what begins to happen is as you're making the light and dark choices, you have what's called your intuition, and you also have other parts of your spirit that are here. Okay, so let's see which ones we're going to go through today. Okay, and this video, this is going to be about maybe 40-45 minutes, and of course I will timestamp. Okay, and if you want to see anything more about love and light, or light and dark, right? Because it is love light, light and dark, and neutral as in gray. Let me know in the description, in the comments below. Okay, and thank you so much for the comments I've been getting and the requests I've been getting. Okay, so thank you so much. So yeah, so we can talk more about that, and I can do an actual video, a full video on light and dark and choices that we make that put us in that position. Because everything in life, believe it or not, it's the simplest thing. It's just choices. These are choices, choices, choices. Okay, and I know sometimes I can feel when I make certain decisions, I feel weight on me sometimes. I'm like, oh, was that the right decision? Because I know how fragile life is and it can be with our decisions and our choices. Okay, all right, so let's begin. Let's see which card we're going to start with. Okay, which chakra energy we're going to start with. Okay, all right, so let's choose this one. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is the self mastery card. Okay, let me move it over a little bit. There you go. Self mastery card. Okay, and this is your solar plexus, right? So your solar plexus, and you'll see it on the other side of the screen, is right here. It's in your belly button. Okay, that's your solar plexus. Your solar plexus the is where your belly button is, because that's the grounding area. Okay, that, if you think about it, when we're babies, or in our mother's wombs, that is our source of nourishment, our source of air, our source of light, of everything, is that umbilical cord, right? That ties us to our mothers, and we're able to eat that way. There's evidence that babies, they don't really play with their umbilical cord as much, but they obviously ingest food that way. Okay, and they know it's there. Okay, so when a baby is born and it's cut off, you'll start to see them feeling for it again. So they're aware that it's supposed to be there. That's their lifeline. Okay, so that's self mastery. Self mastery is to understand who you are, which goes in perfectly what I was just talking about. To understand who you are, and with your solar plexus, you always want to, like, that's that when we say I have a gut feeling, that's your solar plexus, right? So we'll call this gut feeling, right? Your solar plexus is your gut feeling. Okay, that's the one that we want to always be aware of. Okay, I'll just put them over here. Okay, so the next one I'll just pull is, okay, spiritual awakening, right? Spiritual awakening. And this is not done in order of the body and the spiritual connection. It's just the cards I'm pulling. Okay, the next one is spiritual awakening. And in spiritual awakening, right there, that is, and it's showing you on top of the head, that is the crown chakra. The crown chakra is right here. Okay, crown chakra. So that would be the equivalent to where you're born, and you have that area that's very it's called the fontanelle, I believe, that's very weak. That's the last part of the skull to close. That's where your crown chakra is, right? So that's where, it's the belief is, that's where messages come down from on high, and they get filtered right into our crown chakra. Okay, when your crown chakra is off, you tend they say you tend to be dizzy. um you tend not to follow your intuition really closely, because it's the message is clouded. You can't hear or you can't feel the guidance given to you. Okay. All right. Your next one up is your third eye, right? That's your intuition. There it goes, your third eye, right? And with your third eye, you see the eye in the middle? With your third eye, what begins to happen is once it goes from your crown chakra, the message, into your body, it goes straight to your third eye. Your third eye is responsible for helping everyone understand things and helping us clarify things that we're thinking, right? With your third eye, sometimes people say, I had a premonition, right? That's your third eye. So that's something, a premonition is something that has not happened yet, but you've seen it happen already. That's your third eye. It went into the future spiritually, got the event, and showed it to you for a reason, okay? Some people say they can see the past, right? They'll say, oh, I've done this before. I had a past dream about this. That is your third eye as well. Your third eye works when you're sleeping too, okay? So this is your third eye. It's getting information, and it's bringing it like a snapshot to you, to give you information and let you understand what's going on, okay? The next one is heart chakra, right? Heart chakra is absolutely my favorite, right? Forgiveness, heart chakra. So with your heart chakra, that is the heart. And what begins to happen is you've got the four quadrants of the heart, and it's believed that you have four parts of forgiveness or whatever you're working on with your heart chakra, right? So you have the first quadrant begins with love. The second one begins with like responsibility. The third one begins with like childhood, adulthood, like that kind of thing. So all your memories, all your heart, everything, the feelings that you feel about people comes directly from within the heart chakra. Everything lives within that heart chakra, okay? If your heart chakra is closed, what happens is you start to look at life very business like. If your heart chakra is closed, you look at life as a business deal. You don't value people and their experiences. You look for what you can get from people, if you will. Okay? All right. The next one is angels and masters, but this is an element called the soul star. Okay? The soul star is the space that's above the chakra. I mean, the chakra, sorry, is above your crown. Okay, that's where the soul space is. And it's almost like that's where divine is. And so the soul space is the area where like the messages live. And then it comes down to you through your crown. Okay, so that's where that is. So it's the area right above your head. Okay. The next one is, well, this one says relationships, but this was your sacral chakra, right? So your sacral chakra is, it's basically your genitals. Okay, it's basically your genitals. Because in men and women, that is our, I don't want to say our sole purpose, but as human beings, that's what we're here for, right? So I know everyone has their own opinions on procreating, but anatomically, like if you look, everything on earth has a purpose. We as humans, that's what we're here to do, make other humans, right? So we have to protect that. We have to protect, men, of course, have to protect theirs, and women, you have to protect yours, by protecting yours, getting checkups, make sure everything is fine. Of course, going for your mammograms. I'm sorry, not your mammograms, your breast. Going for your gynecological exams, making sure internally that your sacral chakra is protected from the inside, because ladies, we all know we can go through a lot, okay? And so that this way, whenever you're ready, then you may be able to reproduce with whomever you choose, okay? Um, and it's not only for those of childbearing years. With your sacral chakra, it's like you can't let everybody in your space with your sacral chakra, right? Because everybody you let into your sacral chakra space, men and women, right? You take a piece of them with you. Physically you take a piece of them with you, and also but emotionally you take a piece of them with you. You take their energy with you. So if there are too many people in your sacral chakra space, what begins to happen is your energy becomes their energy, and you become jaded, and then your heart chakra starts to close, because that's all you're feeding your body, that's all you're showing your body is the negativity. Physically, it feels good, but you're taking part of that person. So, you can't say male or female, or, whichever gender you feel that you're embodying. You can't say, oh, I think he's attractive, but I think he's a horrible person. Well, that's fine, but guess what? That whatever you thought about him that made you think he was a horrible person, guess what? That's now in you. Okay? Meaning that's a part, you've taken a part of him. So you've taken a part of him. So therefore, you then also have to you've taken his sorry, my words, guys. I'm sorry. You've taken a part of him, so you've taken a part of his karma, you've taken a part of his experiences, you've taken a part of him that you don't like. Okay? So you have to be really careful who you let into that sacral chakra space. Okay, so the next one up is the throat chakra. It's my second favorite one. Throat chakra. So with your throat chakra, that's your communication chakra. That's what is helping you communicate with other humans, and it's also setting and getting your intentions out there through your voice. Okay? When you communicate with your throat chakra, and you're communicating, hopefully you're choosing to communicate out of love at all times. What happens is your tone changes, and other people accept you more, because they hear that you have no agenda, no intention, nothing behind what you're saying. It's just what it is. Sometimes what I do now is I hear when people are speaking, they kind of try to sound like a robot now. I don't, is that just me thinking that? Like when people talk like on the phone, or like I'm calling someone, like a business, I'll hear someone answer, and I'm gonna just do it because this is what I'm thinking. Like they'll say, hello, welcome to Spirit Guide, how can I help you? And sometimes I have to say like hello, like, to make sure that this is a person, and they'll say yes, hello, I am here, and they'll talk like that. I don't know if they think that is a neutral way of talking. To me, it's just funny. I just laugh sometimes. I'm like, okay, but but that's the idea behind the throat chakra, to clear out all negative intentions, clear out, I wouldn't say clear out personality, because that's what makes us human, but to clear out any negative intentions and to move forward with positivity. Okay. So, when I hear people talking like that in businesses, I think to myself, they must have been told to watch their tone on the phone with people, so therefore they're doing this robot sound because they want to just be free of their personality. But that would be their throat chakra. Okay, if your throat chakra is blocked, what begins to happen here with your throat chakra is you start to get into more arguments with people, because your intentions are not clear, and you are not stating clearly what you want. So it's being misinterpreted by other people. So therefore, conflict starts, and therefore, arguing and fighting starts. Okay. So it's very important that you make sure your throat chakra is clear, okay, before communicating with other people. All right, now here we have our base chakra. So your base, because base and sacral look alike to me. So your base chakra, this is the lower spine area, and it governs down to your feet. Okay. That one says holistic health. Okay. So your base chakra, you just want to make sure it's aligned. If your base chakra is off, you'll tend to start having back pain. You'll start having, you know, there's no urgency in walking for you. Everything, maybe your legs will start hurting. It's going to have a physical manifestation that you're going to need to straighten out, okay? And that's your base chakra, okay? All right. So hopefully everyone's still with me. Still, we're here together. All right. Let's do the last one. Ah, yes. We have Earth Star. Earth Star is a chakra element. Earth Star is below your feet, which is below your base, okay? It's your feet connect to the ground, which connects us to reality, and it connects us back to divine, right? So it's Mother Earth. So it connects us to what is what I call reality, right? It connects you back to the ground, okay? Um you'll see sometimes, people when, they have, like, maybe if they're anxious, they have anxiety or something like that, the number one thing they take up to do is gardening, right? Why? Because gardening connects you back to Mother Earth. It connects your Earth Star. It connects you back to your Earth Star. It's getting back into nature, okay? You'll start to see certain cultures will do that. Especially with dancing, when they're connecting or they're dancing, to connect to the higher power or divine, they'll dance all like hunched over to the ground, right? That's reconnecting to the earth, okay? And reconnecting to where we will once be, where we will once be. So that's your chakras for you. So those are all your chakras. And